What if I told you that quitting an addiction could be easier than you think? No long, painful roadblocks. No complex science talk, just simple, actionable steps you can start today. If you're watching this, you're probably tired of the cycle, the feeling of being stuck, the constant battle with your own mind, and maybe even a bit of guilt or shame. In today's video, we're going to change that narrative. We're going to break it down into the easiest steps so you can start taking control of your life again. And trust me, it's not about willpower or some superhuman strength you need. It's about understanding the simple, modern science of how our brains work and then using that to your advantage. Ready? Let's get started. Let's start with a concept called the habit loop. Sounds fancy, right? But stick with me, because this is key to understanding how addiction works. This loop is how habits, both good and bad, are formed. First, you get to trigger something that sets the cycle in motion. For example, stress, boredom, or even seeing something on social media. Then comes the behavior. Maybe you grab your phone and scroll through social media, or reach for that cigarette or that drink. And here's where it gets interesting. The reward. Your brain releases a little burst of dopamine, which makes you feel good. And that right there is what keeps the loop going. It's like getting a like on your post, but in the form of chemicals. The key to breaking this cycle is realizing that it's not about completely eliminating the trigger or the reward. It's about changing the behavior in the middle. You see, your brain loves routines. It's constantly looking for patterns. So instead of trying to fight the addiction head on, we need to replace that old behavior with something else. Something that still gives your brain a little hit of dopamine, but in a healthier way. Let's say you're trying to quit smoking. Instead of lighting up when you're stressed, try taking a deep breath or going for a short walk. You're still satisfying the urge for a reward, but in a way that benefits you in the long run. So, small changes over time can rewire your brain to see these new habits as your reward. But here's the thing. Breaking addiction isn't just about replacing the behavior. It's about creating a new environment for yourself. You've probably heard the phrase, you are the average of the 5 people you hang around most, right? Well, your environment plays a massive role in addiction too. If you're constantly surrounded by triggers, whether it's the people, places, or things that remind you of the habit you want to quit, it's going to be a lot harder. Start small. Clean up your space. Clear out the things that remind you of your addiction. Put your phone in a drawer during your breaks instead of scrolling through social media. Create a new space for positive habits. And hey, don't underestimate the power of people. If you want to quit drinking, don't hang out with a group who always goes to the bar. Find a supportive group that's into healthier habits or hobbies. Environment can be your best friend. This one's huge. Humans are social creatures, and we thrive when we feel supported. Find someone you trust to hold you accountable, a friend, a coach, a community. If you want to quit something, don't keep it to yourself. Tell someone and let them know how they can help. Accountability doesn't have to be a big deal. It could be a simple text, a phone call, or even posting about it on social media. When you know someone's there checking in, it makes you more likely to stay committed. And this, my friends, is where most people slip up. They try to quit, they mess up, and then they beat themselves up. But listen, quitting any addiction is tough. It's okay to stumble. The key is getting back up and not letting one mistake derail your progress. It's like a video game. You don't lose the game when you fail one level. You just try again, right? Be kind to yourself and remember, this is a process. Every small step counts. So to recap, the easiest way to quit addiction isn't through sheer willpower. It's through understanding how your brain works, replacing bad behaviors with new ones, creating a supportive environment, holding yourself accountable, and being kind to yourself during the journey. It sounds simple, right? Because it really is. It's about taking the pressure off and focusing on making small, sustainable changes that add up over time. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one small change you can make today to start breaking free from your addiction? Drop it in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more practical tips on living a better life. Remember, the first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most important. Let's do this together.